Hello, my name is Vikas Pota. The reason why we're organizing this global showcase for World Education Week is we believe that schools have incredible expertise in making sure that learning outcomes improve. Given the state of the world, we want to see the expertise from this particular school being replicated in schools all over our planet so that the world becomes better for everyone. That is why I congratulate this school for what it does and hope that those listening can take away conclusions as to how they should actually approach their own improvement journeys. Thank you all for participating, and I look forward to seeing you in many of the other events this coming week. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for supporting this incredible work, without whom we couldn't have put together this global showcase. Thank you, and I wish you well for this event.
Fast-paced social, economic, and technology-driven change is redefining our world. And having a broad range of skills, such as creativity and problem-solving, has become far more important than being able to memorize information. To redefine how our children learn, and to empower them for the future, parents, teachers, and policymakers must stop overlooking a powerful part of the solution: learning through play. Play is the rocket fuel of child development, and there is a growing body of evidence to support that play is fundamental for children's positive growth and well-being over time. It is also an essential way to foster the skills required to thrive in today's world. The LEGO Foundation aims to build a future in which learning through play empowers children to become creative, engaged, lifelong learners. To do so, we work with a range of partners around the world to change the hearts and minds of all of those who influence children's lives through our programs, research, and advocacy, so they can all embrace the transformative power of play. Examples of what we do include making sure that caregivers, practitioners, and policymakers understand the importance of play, investigating, testing, and scaling new ways to bring play-based learning into homes and schools, using play to help millions of the world's most vulnerable children cope with adverse childhood experiences and toxic stress, or conducting research with some of the world's leading research institutions. Please visit our website and follow us on social media to learn more.
Language connects us all. It's how friendships are formed, ideas are shared, and lessons are learned. Language is how we find understanding and express love. It's how we communicate our successes, both big and small. It lays the groundwork for learning and growth. And for an increasingly diverse student population, it can be the key to achievement in school and beyond. That's why Rosetta Stone Education is dedicated to language and literacy. We offer solutions designed to support teachers and their emergent bilingual students, recognizing and celebrating the knowledge, culture, and languages they bring to our classrooms. Our products are founded on the adaptive blended learning model for individual needs, continuous progress monitoring for better learning outcomes, and culturally responsive pedagogies for more inclusive classrooms. With solutions aligned with proficiency standards, we support language learning while exploring academic subject areas, paving the way to better outcomes. Because for all of us, language is everything.
Dear T4 community, We talk a lot about teachers these days, but we rarely listen to them. Therefore, I am truly excited to join the T4 World Education Week to hear from teachers and school leaders all over the world how we can impact learning together. I am particularly looking forward to the Global Showcase. 100 schools sharing their expertise and best practices, I believe, will be a huge motivation for other schools around the globe. I'm equally impressed by the T4 Solutions Challenge, its finalists and their solutions to real-world issues in education. This gives me hope that we can, together, turn around education globally. The Jacobs Foundation is a proud supporter of the T4 World Education Week because we share a vision to reimagine learning and education by bringing together the brightest people who understand how children learn. Let's do this together.
Hi everyone, I am Pallavi and I welcome all of you to the Global Showcase of Kaliketpada, a government school from India. We are honored to be one among the 100 schools showcasing in the World Education Week. We want to thank Mr. Vikas Pota and T4 for giving us this opportunity. This is going to be a bilingual presentation. Most of our speakers are going to speak in their mother tongue and I will summarize it in English for the audience. Please write your questions in the chat box. We will take up the questions right in the end. आपले प्रश्न असतील तर ते तुम्ही चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये लिहा आणि आपण सगळ्यात शेवटी प्रश्नोत्तरांसाठी वेळ ठेवलेला आहे. प्लीज प्रमोट वर्ल्ड एज्युकेशन वीक अँड यूज हॅशटॅग वर्ल्ड एड्यू वीक इन ऑल युअर सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट. Kaliketpada. This is a story of grit and perseverance of teachers and commitment of the parents and the communities to ensure each child learns and prospers in their village. We have here with us teachers, parents, children of Kaliketpada, and we also have here Commissioner of Education of State of Maharashtra, Mr. Vishal Solanki. Let us understand a bit about Kaliketpada before we meet our speakers. Kaliketpada is a school in India, in the state of Maharashtra, in the district of Nandurbar. We can see that there is 69% tribal population in the district and 96% tribal population in the entire block in which Kaliketpada is situated. Now, Kaliketpada, Pada means hamlet and Kaliket means fertile soil. 40 families live there and their main source of income is seasonal farming. Kaliketpada is remote, it is tribal, and it has limited resources. Now let's meet our speakers and understand from them what exactly have they done and how have they been able to make it happen for their children and their community. We are going to meet the teachers first. We have the teachers here. Mr. Tegashankar Paura, who joined the school in 2001, that was the first year of the school. Mr. Rupesh Kumar Nagargave, who joined in 2009. Dashrath Pavra, he joined in 2018, and Lakshmiputra Upin 2018. So all these 4 teachers have really put in work for last 20 years. Now we are going to meet our first speaker, Mr. Rupesh Kumar Nagargave. Nagargave sir actually joined on 15th of June in 2009, and his first day was quite an experience because on 16th of June he decided he wanted to resign. He didn't want to continue because he had to walk 6 kilometers to reach the school and the road to school was difficult. But he continued. He is here with us today. He was awarded as best teacher by the Nandurbar District Administration in 2019. So let us hear the story from him. We are going to ask him now how things were for him and what were the challenges that he actually faced. Namaste sir. Sir, तुम्ही जेव्हा 2009ला जॉईन झाला त्या शाळेमध्ये तेव्हा काय काय अडचणींना सामना करायला लागला, तुमचा अनुभव सांगाल का?
2009 साली नंदुरबार जिल्ह्यातल्या दडगाव तालुक्यातील उमराणी या गावातल्या एक छोट्याशा पाड्यावरती माझी शिक्षक म्हणून नियुक्ती झाली होती. मी जेव्हा या शाळेकडे यायला सुरुवात केली त्यावेळेस इथली भौगोलिक परिस्थिती खूप वेगळी होती आणि मी ज्या भागामध्ये राहतो किंवा ज्या भागामध्ये लहानाचं मोठं झालो एज्युकेशन घेतलं त्या भागातली परिस्थिती खूप वेगळी होती. पहिली अडचण अशी होती की माझी मानसिक अडचण होती, कारण की मी एवढ्या अति दुर्गम भागामध्ये असल्या भौगोलिक परिस्थितीमध्ये नदी नाल्यामध्ये काम करू शकेल का नाही, कारण की ही सातपुड्याची चौथी रांग आहे. इथं पाऊस, ऊन आणि हिंस्र प्राणी यांचं वावर खूप असतो. भौगोलिक परिस्थितीमध्ये चालताना सुद्धा आम्हाला त्रास व्हायचा आणि मी ज्या शाळेत शिकलो तिथं तिथं मला जायला सायकल असायची किंवा एखादी व्हॅन येऊन मला घेऊन जायला थांबायची. पण जेव्हा शिक्षक म्हणून जेव्हा ह्या कालेखेतपाड्याला आलो, तिथं मला 6 किलोमीटर रोज पायी चालावं लागायचं. आणि तो असा सपाट नव्हता, डोंगरात होता. नदीमध्ये पाऊस आल्यानंतर पाण्याला वाढ यायची आणि आम्हाला कपडे काढून डोक्यावर ठेवून नदीच्या पलीकडे जावं लागायचं. आणि जेव्हा पाण्याचा फोर्स जास्त राहायचा त्यावेळेस एखाद्या पालकांना किंवा स्थानिक पालकांना घेऊन किंवा आमचे जे तेगा सर आहेत, तेगाशंकर पवार सर, हे आमच्या सोबत येऊन आम्हाला नदीच्या पलीकडे घेऊन जायचे. आणि जेव्हा शाळा सुरुवात केली तेगा सरांनी आम्ही, त्यावेळेस एक शाळा होती एका मोफत घरामध्ये. म्हणजे त्या घरामध्ये शिकवताना आम्हाला एक स्वातंत्र्य नव्हतं किंवा आपल्या मनानुसार काम करावा किंवा रंगरुंगटी करा ह्या गोष्टी. दुसरी जी अडचण होती ती माझी संभाषणाची होती. पालक मला काय बोलत आहेत किंवा मुलं काय बोलतायत हे मला समजत नव्हतं, कारण की माझी बोलीभाषा ही मराठी होती आणि इथल्या स्थानिक जी बोलीभाषा होती आदिवासींची ती पावरी भाषा होती, या पावरा समाजांची. त्यामुळे मला काही समजत नव्हतं. त्यासाठी मला मध्यस्थी म्हणून तेगा सरांची गरज लागायची. त्याचं एक उदाहरण सांगतो. मी शाळेमध्ये चलत येत असताना जवारीमध्ये एक आजीबाई तिकडून येत होते आणि मी शाळेत जात होतो. त्या आजीबाईने सांगितले की मला या रे गडूस आहे. मी म्हणलं हो सांगितलं आणि पुढे निघून गेलो मी. मग त्या आजीने सांगितलं की अरे गडूस आहे. मी हो सांगितलं पुढे निघून गेलं. मग त्या आजीने माझ्या हाताला पकडत सांगितलं की वा त्याला भाषा समजत नाही, हे तर गडूस आहे, म्हणजे इथं पावरी भाषेमध्ये साप आहे, पुढे जाऊ नका. म्हणजे अशा अडचणीला आम्हाला सामोरं जावं लागलं. आणि पालकांची एक उदासीनता होती, कारण की ह्या पाड्यावरती शिकणारी ही पहिली पिढी होती की एक बाहेरचा माणूस येऊन इथं शिकवत आहे. तेगा सरांचं तर काम चांगलंच होतं, पण इथून बाहेरून शिकणारा माणूस एक मी पहिला माणूस होतो. त्यामुळे पालकांची उदासीनता होती किंवा मुलं शिकतील का, नाही शिकले तर त्यांना शेतीतलं काम जमतील का, अशा भरपूर अडचणीला होत्या. आणि त्याप्रमाणे माझी भिन्न संस्कृती होती. इथले सण उत्सव वेगळे होते, माझे सण उत्सव वेगळे होते. या सर्वांना सामावून घेणं हे माझ्यासाठी खूप अडचणीत होतं. आणि याला फक्त एकच कारण आहे की तेगा सरांनी सपोर्ट केल्यामुळे आम्ही इथं काम करू शकलो. आणि मुलांची स्वच्छता होती. मग तेगा सरांनी आणि मी विचार केला की मुलांना स्वच्छतेविषयी धडे द्यायचे, त्यांची कटिंग करणं सुरुवात केले. अशा विविध अडचणींना आम्हाला त्यावेळेस सामोरं जावं लागलं.
So yes, so thank you, sir. So Nagargave sir actually came from a very different background, and what he actually joined the school, he realized he had to walk 6 kilometers, and it was not a normal road. He had to actually cross 3 river streams and then reach the school. And when they reached the school did not even have a proper infrastructure. They were actually teaching children in a small house. The major challenge that the teacher faced there was language, because this is a remote village in the mountain range of Satpura, and where the tribal languages are being spoken. So he was the first teacher who came from an outside village, and then he is now he's going to be the teacher here, and that became a barrier for the parents and him. And he and Mr. Paura, both of them together, started communicating with the parents. Now that was one challenge with the language, and he had some funny and frustrating experiences also. The other thing that he also felt that the children's living conditions, the children were he realized that the children were not coming to the school clean, their clothes were torn, and he felt that this is a big challenge. So even though he felt that that the life was going to be difficult, but he continued to stay there. So now let us see that how did he actually overcome these challenges, and what was it that he did that actually built trust in the community. So sir, तुम्ही हे सांगाल का की या सगळ्या अडचणी होत्या, भौगोलिक अडचणी होत्या, भाषेची अडचण होती, तर त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही कुठल्या गोष्टींवर पहिलं काम करायला सुरुवात केली आणि काय महत्त्वाचं वाटलं तुम्हाला?
जेव्हा विचार केला की आपण इथं आपल्या इथं कामाची सुरुवात करायची आहे, मग तेगा सरांना सांगितले की सर मला इथं काम करायचं असेल तर मला भाषा शिकली पाहिजे. सुरुवातीला मी इथली जी बोली भाषा होती जी आत्मसात करायला सुरुवात केली. तेगा सरांकडून मी जे मला दैनंदिन जीवनामध्ये लागणारे छोटे छोटे शब्द आहेत, वाक्य आहेत, म्हणजे इकडे ये, इथं बस, हे पावरी भाषेमध्ये काय असतं हे लिहून घ्यायला सुरुवात केली वहीमध्ये. कारण की त्याचं असं होतं की एक दिवस तेगा सर बाहेरगावी गेले होते रजेवरती, आणि म्हणजे खिचडीमध्ये आम्ही शेंगदाणे टाकले होते, आणि आमच्या मराठी भाषेमध्ये शेंगदाणे म्हणतात आणि पावरी भाषेमध्ये त्याला मुंग्या म्हणतात. मुलं सांगायची की मध्ये मुंग्या आहेत मुंग्या आहेत. मग मी विचार करत की मध्ये मुंग्या किडे कसं काय आहेत, मी हा विचार करायचो. मग ते का सर एक दिवस आले, दुसऱ्या दिवशी आले, मग ते का सांगितलं सर मध्ये मुंग्या आहेत सांगतात मुलं. मग ते का सर मोठ्याने हसायला सुरुवात केली, सर हे मुंग्या म्हणजे शेंगदाणे आहेत. म्हणजे वाटलं की नाही, मग इथली भाषा ह्या मुलांची शिकली पाहिजे. मग सुरुवात केली. बोली भाषा संपर्कात वाढल्यामुळे पालकांशी आम्ही बोलू लागलो. पालकांची जी भाषा आहे ती मग समजू लागलो. पालकांना वाटलं की नाही, बाहेरचा शिक्षक इथल्या स्थानिक शिक्षकांना सोबत घेऊन भाषा शिकत आहे, काम करत आहे, दुर्गमतेवर मात करत आहे. आणि मुले इथले जास्त निसर्गामध्ये रमलेले होते. मग मुलांना आम्ही शैक्षणिक साहित्य निसर्गातून द्यायला सुरू केलं. नदी नाल्यातून शंख शिपले, रंगीत दगड गोळा करायला सांगितलं मुलांना, बांबूच्या काड्या गोळा केल्या, बिया वनस्पतीच्या बिया गोळा करायला लागल्या, रंगीत फुलं गोळा करायला सांगितले. आणि मुलांना वाटलं की बुवा नाही सर, हे जे आहेत ते आपल्या निसर्गातल्या किंवा आम्ही रोज ज्या वस्तू पाहतो त्याच वस्तू आम्हाला हातामध्ये देऊन आम्हाला शिकवत आहेत. त्याप्रमाणे शैक्षणिक साहित्याचा पण चांगला वापर केला. अशा प्रकारे आम्ही विविध समस्यावर मात केली.
So the first thing that you had to learn was the language, because you had when you were speaking, I think the children must have been laughing at that time, but you realized that if you wanted to communicate with children and the parents, you had to learn the language. So he started learning the tribal language of the community. He also started, we can see from the photographs here that he started visiting parents' homes, and then that gave community some confidence that this person who's coming, who's not from our village, is taking interest in us. You can see one photograph where Nagalgave sir is actually trying to learn the traditional instrument of the village. He's trying his hand at the drum. So he started learning all the traditional practices because he felt that he had to understand the culture and the tradition, and that goes beyond the language. Paura sir and Nagargave sir both they started taking care of children. So the children who were coming to school, they started cutting their hair, they started teaching them cleanliness habits, and started stitching their clothes as well. Now that must have not been easy for someone who have never experienced something like this. He was also joined by his two co-teachers in 2018, and our next speaker is Lakshmiputra Upin sir. He joined in 2018. He is also fluent in the tribal languages. Let us ask him that when he joined, things had started changing in Kaliketpada. So what was his experience, and how does he think that the transformation has taken place in the village and also in him, or also in the teachers? So sir, आम्हाला हे सांगाल का की तुम्ही 2018ला तिथे आलात, तुम्ही आणि पावरा सर सुद्धा, आणि त्या परिस्थितीमध्ये बदल घडून यायला लागलेला होता, पालकांची मानसिकता बदलली होती. तर मग तुम्हाला हा बदल फक्त कम्युनिटीमध्ये, पालकांमध्ये जाणवला की हा स्वतःमध्ये सुद्धा घडून आला असं तुम्हाला वाटतंय तेव्हा तुम्ही काम करायला सुरुवात केली?
मी जेव्हा या शाळेवरती आलो तेव्हा मला इथे अतिशय सकारात्मक बदल असे घडवलेले दिसलं, कारण रुपेश सरांनी, तेगा सरांनी आधीपासून काम सुरुवात केलेली असल्यामुळे इथल्या नैसर्गिक वातावरणामध्ये मलाही जोडून घेणं गरजेचं होतं, कारण एक शैक्षणिक वातावरण गावामध्ये ऑलरेडी तयार होत होती. तर मी पण एक भिन्न संस्कृतीमधून आलेले व्यक्ती होतो, आणि इथे आल्यानंतर एक सामाजिक परिस्थिती इथल्या दुर्गम भाग आणि डोंगराळ भागामध्ये आल्यानंतर मी स्वतःमध्ये माझे खूप मोठे बदल झाले. आणि कालिखेतपाड्यामध्ये विचार केला तर पालकांची खूप जागरूकता निर्माण झाली होती. शिक्षण हे दिलंच पाहिजे, शिक्षण ही गावची प्राथमिकता झाली होती. अशा परिस्थितीमध्ये आपण काम करणं गरजेचं होतं, कारण मुलं जर आपले कालिखेतपाड्याची मुलं जर 3-4 किलोमीटर पायी रोज शाळेत येत असतील तर आपण शिक्षक म्हणून त्या संवेदनशीलतेने आपण पाहिलं पाहिजे. हे मी या टीम कडून, कालिखेतपाड्याच्या टीम कडून मी शिकलो होतो, कारण मुले हे 3-4 किलोमीटर पायी येऊन इथे शाळेमध्ये येत होते. तर माझा स्वतःमध्ये सुद्धा एक मोठा बदल झाला. आणि सगळ्यात महत्वाचा, इथल्या पालकांमध्ये प्रत्येक घराघरामध्ये अभ्यास कोपरे आणि अभ्यास गट आणि उलगुलान ओपलूच्या माध्यमातून शिक्षण पोहोचलेलंच होतं. तर अशा पद्धतीने मी स्वतःमध्ये बदल झाला, आणि व्यक्तिमत्वामध्ये कणखरपणा येण्यासाठी इथल्या सातपुड्याचा संघर्ष जो आहे तो नक्कीच कामी आला.
Kalikhetpada is a tribal school, and it is in the mountain range of Satpura, where this school is a school of first generation learners. By the time Upin sir had joined in 2018, he says that the parents' mindset towards education had changed. Parents were understanding that education is important and we have to send children to school. What he feels that when he saw that the teachers, his fellow teachers, were putting in efforts, he saw children coming, walking 4 kilometers one way to the school, and he saw the lives of children and parents there. He felt that he has to do his best because these children deserve education and each child deserves learning. He also says that the transformation is not just about teachers creating change in the community. It is also about the community impacting teachers. So he feels that the community has made the teachers as resilient human beings. He sees that the hard work that the community puts in the farming. They're staying hundreds of kilometers away from the district headquarters and thousands of kilometers away from capital of the state. And in those situations with meager resources, they are trying to build some future for their own children, and that is what gives them the motivation to actually come there and build the school together. So now let us ask them that what are some of those exact things, what are some of those exact activities that we can understand from them which worked for them, and we can see whether that could be replicated by others. सर, पुढचा प्रश्न मला हा विचारायचा आहे की तुम्ही नेमकं काय केलं? तुम्ही मगाशी अभ्यास कोपऱ्याबद्दल बोललात, तर असे काय उपक्रम आहे आणि त्याचा विस्तार करून सांगू शकाल का की नेमकं काय काय केलं आणि कसं केलं?
कालिकेत पाड्यामध्ये आज जी परिस्थिती शिक्षणाची सुधारली त्याचं सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं कारण होतं की मागील 2 वर्षापासून 3 वर्षापासून आम्ही प्रत्येक विद्यार्थ्याच्या घरामध्ये 140 विद्यार्थ्याच्या घरामध्ये अभ्यास कोपरे तयार केले. अभ्यास कोपरा म्हणजे इथल्या घरांमध्ये जर विचार केला तर इथे मुलांना म्हणजे घरामध्ये बसायला सुद्धा जागा नाही किंवा त्यांच्या घराची रचना पण अशी आहे की त्यांना म्हणजे व्यवस्थित घरामध्ये प्रकाश सुद्धा पडू शकत नाही. अशा ठिकाणी अभ्यास कोपऱ्याच्या माध्यमातून आम्ही 140 मुलांच्या घरामध्ये त्यांच्या घरी जर देवघर जरी नसले तर ज्ञान मंदिर तयार करण्याचा प्रयत्न केला. या ज्ञान मंदिराचा परिणाम असा झाला की पालकांचा दृष्टिकोन शाळेकडे बघण्याचा नक्कीच बदलला. कारण याचं अजून एक उदाहरण देता येईल. आमच्या बारीपाडा येथे 140 मुलांची 29 मुलं आमचे चालत येतात तिथून आणि संध्याकाळी परत 4 किलोमीटर पायी जातात. तेव्हा त्या पालकांच्या मनामध्ये असं तयार झालं की एकत्र मुलं अभ्यास करत होते. त्यावेळेला बारीपाड्याच्या मुलांनी आमच्या तेगा सरांच्या मदतीने पालकांनी तिथल्या अभ्यासाची झोपडी तयार केली. त्यावेळेला पालकांच्या विचारामध्ये सुद्धा बदल होत होता आणि ही बदल म्हणजे उलगुलान होता. आमच्या इकडच्या आदिवासी पावरी भाषेमध्ये त्याला उलगुलान म्हणतात. उलगुलान म्हणजे क्रांती. आमच्या पालकांमध्ये क्रांती झाली होती की मुलं आमचे अभ्यास केले पाहिजे आणि ते गटाने अभ्यास केला पाहिजे. यासाठी त्याने एक झोपडी तयार केली होती. त्या झोपडीला आम्ही उलगुलान उठलो असा शब्द दिला होता. उलगुलान म्हणजे क्रांतीचा कट्टा. असे 12 पाड्यामध्ये आम्ही 16 अभ्यासगटाच्या माध्यमातून जे गट तयार केले त्यातून सुद्धा उलगुलान तयार झाला. हे अशा अनेक उदाहरणं देता येतील की ज्यामुळे आम्ही पालक संपर्क करू शकलो.
त्याचप्रमाणे आपल्या रात्रीचा आम्ही अभ्यास गट सुरू केला होता. आमच्या पाड्यावरले कालिकेत पाड्यावरती 5-6 मुलांनी 2-4 दिवस रात्री अभ्यास केला. अभ्यास केल्यानंतर सरांना येऊन सांगितलं की आम्हाला की सर आम्ही रात्री अभ्यास करत आहे तिथं आणि जे मुलाला वाचता येत नाही त्या मुलांना आम्ही शिकवत आहे. हे उच्च वर्गातले मुलं लहान मुलांना शिकवत होते. मग आमच्या डोक्यामध्ये आम्ही 4 शिक्षकांनी विचार केला की जर आपण 140 मुलांचा असे अभ्यास गट जर पाड्यावर सुरू केले आणि पालकांना सांगून त्याच्या मदतीनं जर आपण अभ्यास घेतला तर त्या मुलांमध्ये खूप प्रगती होईल. आणि त्याप्रमाणे असे 12 पाड्यावरती 16 अभ्यास गट सुरू झाले. संध्याकाळी शाळा सुटल्यानंतर 6 ते 9 किंवा 10 वाजेपर्यंत मुलं अभ्यास करायचे. ज्यावेळेस लाईट जायची त्यावेळेस पालकांनी त्यांना सौर ऊर्जेचे दिवे अशा गोष्टी उपलब्ध करून दिल्या होत्या. ज्या ठिकाणी गळतीचं प्रमाण होतं विद्यार्थ्यांचं, त्याच पाड्यावरती मुलं शिकावे म्हणून पालक रात्री 9 व 10 वाजेपर्यंत मुलांना घेऊन यायचे. एखादा लहान मुलगा जर तिथं पहिलीचा जर झोपला तर पालक त्याला खांद्यावरती उचलून घेऊन जायचे, पण सांगायचं की सर माझा मुलगा अर्धा तास जरी इथं बसला तरी माझा मुलगा 100% शिकेल. अशा प्रकारे आम्ही उपक्रम राबवले आणि त्याचा परिणाम मुलांच्या गुणवत्तेवर झालेला आहे.
So the teachers are talking about, and we can see it in the photographs as well. They're talking about the learning spaces that they created. Now, for first generation learners and their parents, this was very, very important that they understood that education is important. So they actually created these learning spaces for 140 children in their village. And these homes or these huts were not ideal. They didn't have much light. Some of the homes were constructed in a way that they didn't have enough space for children and the families to sit. But in spite of all that, small learning spaces were created where children were putting up their work, children were putting up their timetables, and that got parents to actually connect to children's learning. And that led to a transformation. And in their tribal language, it is called as Olgulan Otlu. It literally means a place for transformation. You saw the photograph of a hut being built. Now that was a result of parents thinking that there has to be a space in the community where children, when they come back from school, they can have their own space for learning again in the community, and they can get together. Now that again, that led to the evening study groups where the older children were teaching the younger ones and all the peer learning was happening. Olgulan Otlu also resulted in getting the parents together. So parents started talking to each other about what their children were doing. So the communication shifted from why do we need education to what their children were learning. Now that was a moment of transformation for Kaliket Pada. Now this actually takes us to how the parents have been able to, how the parents have actually taken ownership of education in Kaliket Pada. We have our next speaker. We have one of the parent representatives here with us. His name is Mr. Tega Paura. He's accompanied by his wife. He's got 3 children who are studying in this school. We also have another parent with us, Mr. Chetan Paura. So, namaskar, sir. So we are going to talk to Mr. Tega Paura and understand that how do parents really see this, because this is a journey of 10-15 years and things must have not been easy for the teachers, and let us see how parents perceive this change. पावरा सर, तुम्ही हे सांगाल का की जेव्हापासून आता शाळा खूप वेगळी आहे, जी 20 वर्षांपूर्वी होती किंवा 10 वर्षांपूर्वी होती, तर आता तुम्हाला शाळेमध्ये काय काय बदल दिसून येतो?
मॅडम, नक्कीच बदल झालेला दिसून येतो. नंदुरबार जिल्ह्यातील दडगाव तालुक्यातील उमराणी बुद्रुक या गावामध्ये एकूण 12 पाडे आहेत आणि त्या 12 पाड्यापैकीच आमच्या एक काल्लेखेत पाडा ही एक काल्लेखेत पाडा हा एक पाडा, आणि त्या ठिकाणी सुरुवातीला फक्त काही लोकसंख्या कमी होती आणि सुरुवातीला वस्ती शाळा सुरू होती, आणि वस्ती शाळा सुरू होती तेव्हा त्यावेळेस त्यांना बसण्यासाठी जागा नव्हती आणि एका खाजगी मोफत घरामध्ये ती शाळा भरवली जात होती. आणि जेव्हा ती शाळा सुरू होती त्यावेळेस विद्यार्थी संख्या ही फक्त 14 होती, आणि नंतर त्या शाळेचं जिल्हा परिषदेमध्ये रूपांतर झालं, आणि रूपांतर झाल्यानंतर त्या शाळेला स्वतःची अशी इमारत तयार झाली, आणि त्यानंतर एक एक करून अशी विद्यार्थी संख्या आता 140 पर्यंत पोहोचली. याला कारण आहे तिथल्या शिक्षकांची धडपड किंवा गावासाठी आणि विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी असलेली धडपड, आणि म्हणूनच आमच्या गावामध्ये एवढा बदल झालेला दिसून येतो. आणि शाळा ही शाळेतच न राहता अभ्यास कोपरे असतील किंवा बाल गट असतील किंवा हे गट असतील, अभ्यास गट असतील, त्या माध्यमातून ती शाळेतच न राहता ती घरापर्यंत पोहोचली. आणि या निमित्ताने शिक्षकांच्या रात्री 8 ते 9 वाजेपर्यंत त्या ठिकाणी आमच्या घरांना भेटी व्हायच्या, आणि त्यामुळं नक्कीच आमच्या गावामध्ये पूर्वीपेक्षा बदल झालेला दिसतो.
थँक्यू सर. So, our parent representative here, he's saying that the school has definitely changed. 20 years ago, they did not have a building for the school, and now there is an infrastructure. And the biggest thing they recognize that the school enrollment actually increased from 14 to 140. The school also influenced the parents of the other hamlets which are close by. The parents of this village are, you can see it in the photographs, that they actually meet often, and you can see that the children sitting and the teachers sitting there. And these parents who are part of the Ulgulan Otlu, the place for transformation, and they actually talk about what is the need of the school and what do children need if they have to learn here. What they have also been, what they also recognize that the teachers are putting in a lot of efforts here. They visit their homes when the parents come back from work, and the teachers are in the village till 9 in the night, and they recognize that as one of the most important connection between the teachers and the community. One other thing that Pauras has said, that the teachers have not just brought community to the school. In fact, they've actually brought school into the community, and that has been the biggest change in Kalikhetpada. Now let us try and understand from him that how does he, it must have not been easy 10 years ago or 15 years ago. And have the parents really changed their mindset about education now? सर, मला हे तुम्हाला विचारायचं आहे की आपल्या सगळ्या पालकांची मानसिकता आता बदलली आहे का, आणि सगळे पालक आता किती जागरूक आहेत शिक्षणाबद्दल, आणि आपण असं म्हणू शकतो का की 100% पालकांना आपलं मूल शिकावं असं वाटतं आणि त्याच्यासाठी प्रयत्न करतात?
हो मॅडम, आता प्रत्येक पालकांना वाटतं की आपलं मूल शिकलं पाहिजे आणि शिकून पुढं काहीतरी केलं पाहिजे. प्रत्येक पालकाला आता याची जाणीव झालेली आहे की आपण शाळेमध्ये जे काही शिकवत आहेत किंवा जे अध्यापनाचं काम चालू आहे ते आपण आपल्या मुलांना पाठवलं पाहिजे, जेणेकरून आपल्या कुटुंबाची प्रगती होईल आणि गावाचा विकास होईल. या उद्देशाने पालक हे आता एकत्र येऊन चर्चा करू लागले. उलगुलान उटलूच्या माध्यमातून एकत्र येऊन चर्चा करू लागले. मग विद्यार्थ्यांच्या समस्या असतील, शाळेच्या समस्या असतील, तर त्या समस्या त्या उलगुलान उटलूच्या माध्यमातून ते सोडवण्याचा प्रयत्न करतात. आणि असाच एक प्रयत्न म्हणजे आमच्या मुलांना बसण्यासाठी वर्गखोली नव्हती, आणि मग जो निधी होता, रस्त्याचा निधी जो होता, तो आम्ही अशा उलगुलान उटलीच्या माध्यमातून आम्ही ग्रामसभेला जाऊन आम्ही सांगितलं की रस्ता नको, आम्हाला फक्त वर्गखोली बांधून द्या. आणि त्या माध्यमातूनच आम्ही एक वर्गखोली त्या ठिकाणी विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी उपलब्ध करून दिली. याचा परिणाम हा पालक सगळे जागरूक झालेत, आणि प्रत्येक पालकाला वाटतं की आपण आपल्या मुलांना नियमित शाळेत पाठवलं पाहिजे, आणि नियमित शाळेत गेल्यानंतरच आपल्या मुलांची प्रगती होईल. त्यामुळं मला वाटतं की सगळे पालक आता जागृत झालेले आहेत.
सो हे एकदमच छान आहे की 100% पालक जागरूक आहेत. One of the indicators that the parents' mindset have changed towards education is that they have started sending their children regularly to school, and that is one thing that has also contributed to parents' involvement in school development there. So Ulgulan Utlu has facilitated a parents collective where parents have taken decisions, parents have deliberated on the needs of the school. One such example that he cites here is that there was money sanctioned for building the road for the school in their Gram Panchayat or the local governance body. But the parents, through Ulgulan Utlu and through those deliberations and discussions, realized that what is more important, the road or a classroom for children, and they decided that they will use that money for the classroom, one extra classroom for the school rather than the road. The children do continue to walk to school even now, but now they have an infrastructure and learning space for themselves. So this is the story. This is the story of empowered parents and the parents when they actually prioritize education. This is what happens, and we can see that in the photographs as well. Now let us meet our two girls from Kalikhetpada, and they have been instrumental in creating change. Now the parents and teachers are motivated and committed, but if you see these girls here, in tribal villages, what happens is usually children, especially girl children, do not continue their education beyond grade 4, and now, if you see these girls here, Mogi Pavra is actually in grade 8 and she's joined by her friend Manisha. Now, these two, there is something special about them. Mogi and Manisha are actually, Mogi is the chief minister of the Children's Parliament there. Now, school where girls were not even getting basic education, or a village where girls were not getting basic education. Now these two girls actually lead the school activities. So Mogi and Manisha are here. Manisha is the deputy chief minister in the school, and they take care of a lot of activities for the school. Now we are going to understand from them. So Mogi, Manisha, hi.
Hi, ma'am.
So मोगी थोडं आपण शाळेबद्दल बोलूया का? तू मोगी तू किती लांब राहते शाळेपासून आणि कशी येते शाळेत?
माझं शाळेपासून अर्धा किलोमीटर लांब आहे आणि मी रोज चालतच येते.
So Mogi, I asked her where does she stay and how does she commute to school. So she stays pretty close by. She stays about half kilometer away from the school and she walks to the school. But that's not true for most of the children. Let's ask her that as well. Mogi, किती इतर जी मुलं आहेत त्यांच्याबद्दल काय म्हणशील? किती लांब राहतात आणि कशी येतात?
काही मुलांना कमी चालावे लागते आणि काही मुलांना जास्त चालावे लागते. उदाहरणामध्ये बारीपाड्यातून 29 मुले 4 किलोमीटर चालत येतात. उमराणी गावातून 3 किलोमीटर चालत येतात. मुवाडीपाड्यातून 2 किलोमीटर चालत येतात. शाळा जवळ असलेले त्यांना कमी चालावे लागते. रोज 70 ते 80 मुलं शाळेत चालत येतात.
So out of 140 children, about 80 children walk on an average of 4 kilometers to school, on total of 8 kilometers each day, and the road looks like this. So they have to cross the river streams even today, and this has not been easy for the children. But these children are coming to school and are learning. Now, these two girls they hold a very special position in the school, and that's the chief minister and the deputy minister of Children's Parliament. So I'm going to ask them about a Children's Parliament and how do they really function. तुमच्याकडे बाल संसद आहे, तर ती कशी काम करते ते सांगाल का, आणि ती कशी तयार झाली?
आम्ही विद्यार्थ्यांच्या घरी जाऊन प्रचार केला. प्रचार करण्यासाठी सरांनी वेळ दिला. 8 दिवसाआधी आम्ही फॉर्म भरले. आम्ही 4 विद्यार्थी थांबले होते. त्यांचे नाव मोगी, संपत, मोजा आणि मी होते. आमचे वेगवेगळे चिन्ह होते. आम्ही गुप्त मतदान केले. आम्ही मतदान पेटी बनवली. आमचे मत साहेबांनी मोजणी केली. आम्हाला किती मत पडले ते सांगितले. मोगीचे 51 मत, माझे 50 मत. असे मोगी मुख्यमंत्री, उपमुख्यमंत्री झाले. मग मंत्रिमंडळाची रचना तयार करण्यात आली.
Okay. So they actually carried out a proper election process. You can see it in the photographs here. They Mogi, Manisha, along with some other nominees, filled up the forms for this election, and Mogi won by 1 vote, and that's how Manisha became the deputy chief minister. Now let's understand, and they actually formed their parliament with other children, and they do take care of a lot of things in the school. And let's ask them that what is it that they have done for their school. मनीषा आणि मोगी, तुम्ही सांगू शकाल का की बाल संसदेतनं तुम्ही कुठल्या अडचणींवर काम केलं आणि शाळेसाठी काय केलं?
आमच्या शाळेमध्ये पाण्याची व्यवस्था नाही. आमच्या शाळेमध्ये 4 कॅम्प्युटर आहे. कॅम्प्युटर चालवण्यासाठी लाईट मग आम्ही मंत्रिमंडळ मला सांगितलं की आपण ग्रामसभेला जाऊ. मग आम्ही पथनाट्य बसवलं ग्रामसभेला जायला. मग आम्ही ग्रामसभेला गेले. ग्रामसभेला मागितलं की आम्हाला पाण्याची टाकी पाहिजे. आमच्या शाळेमध्ये 4 कॅम्प्युटर आहे. कॅम्प्युटर चालवायला इन्व्हर्टर किंवा लाईट पाहिजे असे आम्ही छोटी अडचणी ग्रामसभेला सांगितलं. मग त्यानंतर ग्रामसभेला आम्हाला मंजूर केले.
So Mogi and Manisha have been and with their group of children, they actually recognized that they don't have clean water and electricity in the school. Now that is a basic necessity, and each of these children deserve it. And they went to their local governance body and told them that they need an overhead tank, and they also need inverter for electricity backup. And today what they have is they have 4 computers, they have tablets. So even though this is a remote tribal village, they have been able to make this happen. And these children are familiar with technology there. Now let's see if they have been able to support other children in any way. मोगी आणि मनीषा, आपल्याकडे मुलं सगळे जे काही मुलं येतात, काही मुलं येत नाहीत शाळेमध्ये, तर त्याच्यासाठी तुम्ही बालसंसद म्हणून काही केलंय का?
काही मुलांनी शाळेत नाही आले तर आम्ही मुलांच्या घरी जाऊन पालकांना सांगतो, अरे बाबा, मुलांना शाळेत पाठव. शिकल्याशिवाय पर्याय नाही. जर आपण शिकलो तर समाजासाठी काही करू शकतो असे आम्ही पालकांना पटवून देतो. मग पालक शाळेत पाठवतात. पाऊस, नाले, नदी आले तर लहान मुलांना नदीवर अडताना मोठी मुले मदत करतात. वर्ग मित्र व विषय मित्र अभ्यास गटात बसतात. ज्या मुलांना वाचन करायला येत नाही त्या मुलांचा वाचन लेखन घेतात. पथनाट्य बसवतात.
Okay. So what they have been able to do in the school is that they see that the children who are not coming regularly, Mogi and Manisha with their battalion of children, they visit these children's homes, and then they tell the parents in the most simple language that you have no other option but to send your children to school, because that is what is most important. Now this kind of language and with this kind of power only children can speak, and that definitely has an impact on the parents, and they start sending their children regularly to school. Now this is the transformation that Mogi, Manisha and many other children that we see here in the school have been able to make. It's not just about then allowing children to come to school. Mogi and Manisha, as ministers of the parliament, they also make sure that younger children are supported because the road to school is not easy. So the older children actually support the younger children to come to school. Now with this, I think we got quite a good glimpse of how the parents, teachers, and the children in Kaliketpada have been able to make learning accessible for each child. These children can also, these children's learning levels are at par as any other school. They in fact can read 25-digit numbers. I don't know what that means, but they are able to do that. And this, so they have been, they all like coming to school, and they continue to do this for themselves and for their other children in the school. Now we have our next speaker with us, Commissioner of Education, Mr. Vishal Solanki. He's an Indian Administrative Services Officer of batch 2005. He has been instrumental in implementing progressive education policies in the state, and he's been guiding the state and the teachers for last 3 years. Vishal sir. So, sir, I would like to start with asking you. You know about Kaliketpada now, and what makes you feel proud of Kaliketpada as a government school?
Yeah. First, let me begin with congratulating T4 and Gyan Prakash Foundation for this extraordinary event of showcasing almost 100 schools globally. And I'm proud that one of the schools is from Maharashtra state, India. Also congratulate the teachers who have put in a lot of hard work over next 11 years or so to transform this journey of Kalikhet Pada from being a school with only 14 students and living in a world of ignorance to have transformed it into a beacon of hope for similar schools across not only the state or country, but across the globe. So as you know, our founding father Mahatma Gandhi had said that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in service of others. And that's what the teachers have done. Over 11 years, they have lost themselves in service of this remote tribal hamlet. And they have found themselves. They have found the resilience through the hardworking people, the community, which has shaped their character as well. And in this give and take, it had been an extraordinary journey for both of them, the teachers as well as community. So congratulations to them. And I'm proud that there are an N number of schools across the state who have achieved this kind of transformation. And presently I'm in Bihar. It is also one of the largest states in the country, but with a lot of tribal population, and the district where I am presently sitting as election observer, you would be glad to know that it's the largest election happening in the world post-COVID. And this is a Naxal affected region where there is abject poverty, a lot of tribal population, and a lot of insurgency. So real revolution would not happen by overthrowing any government, but by this kind of education, which will help our children to transform themselves from 15th or 16th century mindset to 21st century. So this is a huge task which our teachers are performing by really bringing about this revolution in education. So thanks to those teachers, community and students and foundation for facilitating this effort.
Thank you, sir. And you're absolutely right. Kalikhet Pada is a representative of such schools and such efforts across the state, and I think across other states as well, who are fighting in similar situations. What would if you have to advise the teachers and communities who are trying to walk on this path of transformation, which is a long path, what would you really recommend to them?
I would say that we have to really sensitize such parents and communities that the way forward for their development is education. In India, we call it Sa Vidya Ya Vimuktai, means only that education is important, which liberates us. So these communities actually get liberated from centuries old poverty, ignorance, and into a world which is much more fairer and equitable, because these children deserve the best, and we have to act together, as is clearly demonstrated by the school. Unless teachers, communities come together, it is just not possible to bring about transformation that is really required for children to not only survive but thrive in global economy. So we all have to act together. The government can play a facilitating role, and also NGOs like Gyan Prakash Foundation. But the entire global community, I would say, must make education as the much needed priority for really ensure all our efforts to succeed.
Yes, and yes, some transformation at this level will not happen without teachers and community. What is also important is is that we all recognize education, and we all need to really accept and think that remoteness of any village should not become a restriction. Every child, wherever the child is, in whichever area, in whichever language he speaks, irrespective of that, each child deserves education. We do have, sir, about 10% of our schools in tribal areas, and they are taking efforts, but the problems persist, and it's a uphill task actually, because most of them are first generation learners. What would you say to what would you appeal to actually the government and the administration? How can they support this?
I would say that governments are making huge amount of effort to ensure education in our tribal areas. In fact, the world community would be glad to know the district in which this particular school is located. The district head is Mr. Rajendra Bharode, and he himself had come from such a poor background, such a tribal background, where his mother used to sell liquor to raise the child, and many times he used to sleep without having food, but with a few drops of liquor just to fill his stomach. With that kind of difficult background in a remote tribal hamlet, he went on to be one of the senior officials in administrative service of this entire country and became district head of the same district where he grew up and walked for kilometers to reach even a primary school. So there are such inspiring stories worldwide, and the governments have to really ensure that we replicate these kind of stories and support these families. For a tribal family, their own mother tongue is different from the regional language. For example, in Maharashtra, we have Marathi as regional language, and the mother tongue is completely different from regional language. So for them, it's second or third language. And from there, they have to graduate to understand English and many other languages which are spoken across the world. So there is huge amount of effort that is required to be put in to ensure that our children are ready to be global citizens. And for that, the government is making active efforts with help of NGOs like Gyan Prakash and the corporate partners like Edelgive. So I would say that with this kind of collaborative effort, we would be helping to create this real revolution, not only in a small hamlet, but I would say in the entire world, where it becomes much more equitable and fairer to all groups and all communities.
So thank you, sir. I think collaboration is the key. We all have a lot of work to do, and we have inspiring stories around us. That is absolutely true. I think there are inspiring stories amongst the officials, and they are creating change in their districts today. So we all have to get together and collaborate more and make sure that we all collectively reach to every child, and so that we actually achieve equity and excellence in learning. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your perspectives. Now we have,
and best wishes to everyone present here. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have some questions from the audience. So I'm going to direct them to our teachers. So the first question is, now Kaliketpada has reached here. Now what's the next thing for Kaliketpada? सो सर आपल्या प्रेक्षकांकडनं प्रश्न आहे की कालिकेतपाडाचं आता भविष्यामध्ये काय दिशेने आपण काम करणार आहोत?
10-11 वर्षापासून आम्ही कालिकेतपाडावरती काम करत आहोत. हे काम इथंच थांबलं नाहीये. जे आम्ही बीज या मातीमध्ये रोवलो आहे, सामाजिक दृष्टी असेल, शैक्षणिक दृष्टी असेल, ते बीज हे मोठ्या वटवृक्षामध्ये व्हावं. आमचे विद्यार्थी या अतिदुर्गम भागातले पाड्यावरील विद्यार्थी या देशाची सेवा करावी, या देशाच्या बाहेर जाऊन आमच्या कालिकेतपाड्याचं, दडगावचं, या आदिवासी समाजाचं नाव जागृत करावं अशी आमची इच्छा आहे. यांनी देशाची सेवा करावी, विविध पदं यांनी भूषवावी अशी आमची एक शिक्षक म्हणून एक इच्छा आहे.
त्याच पद्धतीने आमच्या शाळेचं जर थीम विचार केला आपण, ब्रीदवाक्य भविष्य उद्याचे इथेच किलबिलते, म्हणजे जो येणारा भविष्य आहे, भविष्याचा जो भारत आहे तो आपल्या कालिखेतपाड्याच्या या भूमीवरून घडते आहे आणि ह्याच घडलं पाहिजे असं मला वाटतं. त्याच पद्धतीने इथल्या संस्कृतीची नाळ जुडलेला एक समाज निर्माण करणे, आदर्श समाज निर्माण करणे हे सुद्धा आमचं महत्वाचं ध्येय आहे. त्यासोबतच आणखी विशेष महत्वाचा विचार केला तर इथल्या समाजाचे जे प्रश्न आहेत त्या प्रश्नांना जाणून घेण्यासाठीची नेतृत्व क्षमता जे बालसंसदेमधून आम्ही देतोय मुलांना ते सुद्धा पोहोचलं पाहिजे. असे या गोष्टी आमच्याकडून आज जे होत आहेत हीच आमची प्राथमिकता आहे.
So what they think, what both our teachers think that what they have a lot of work to do yet, and they are going to continue to do this work because they want their children to actually become independent, become creative individuals, and learn all the skills that are necessary to live a successful life. They're also saying that it is important for the teachers that the children are connected to their traditions and practices, and the children learn the leadership skills through their children's parliament initiatives, and they actually become they derive solutions for their villages, and that is the future that they are looking at. सो सर अजून एक आपल्याकडे अजून एक प्रश्न आहे की तुम्ही आता रुपेश सर 10 वर्ष आहेत आणि तुम्ही 2 वर्ष आहात, तर तुम्ही जेव्हा ट्रान्सफर होऊन जाल तर तेव्हा शाळेचं काय होईल? One of the everybody knows that teacher transfers are routine in administration, and these Nagalgave sir has been there for 11 years and Upin sir has been there for 2 years, and the other 2 teachers as well. So if the teachers get transferred, what is going to happen to Kalikhetpada? Is Kalikhetpada going to continue to function in the way it has been doing so far? So sir, तुम्ही ट्रान्सफर झाल्यावर काय होईल असं वाटतंय?
बदली ही एक प्रशासनाचा भाग आहे. जरी आमची बदली झाली, ज्या स्थानिक शिक्षकांनी या मातीमध्ये बीज रोवले आहेत, जे जगाशंकर पवार सर आहेत, ते ह्या शाळेवरनं कधी हटणार नाहीत किंवा ते काम कधी थांबणार नाहीत. त्यांच्या सोबतीला दसरे सर आहेत आणि जी नवीन टीम येईल ते 100% काम करतीलच. कारण की ही शाळा जी आहे, आम्ही हे शिक्षक नाही चालवत, हे आमचं गाव, आमचा समाज आणि आमच्या गावातले तरुण पिढी ही शाळा चालवते आहे. कारण की प्रत्येक घरामध्ये शाळा गेलेली आहे आणि प्रत्येक घर हे शाळेपर्यंत पोहोचलेलं आहे.
आणि दुसरी एक महत्वाची गोष्ट म्हणजे आज ही कालिखेतपाड्याची जी शाळा आहे ती शाळेत न भरता ही प्रत्येक मुलांच्या घरामध्ये 140 मुलांच्या घरामध्ये भरती आहे. कारण प्रत्येक घरामध्ये अभ्यास कोपरा आहे, अभ्यास गट आहे आणि कालिखेत प्रशासकीय म्हणून एक शिक्षक म्हणून आम्ही बदलत जाऊ किंवा नवीन शिक्षक येतील, पण कालिखेतपाडा आणि उमराणी बुद्रुक मधली ही जी शाळा आहे ही कधीच बदलणार नाही. कारण इथले जे पालकांमध्ये जी जागृती झालेली आहे ही लाईफ टाइम साठी नक्कीच झालेली आहे असं मला वाटतं.
Thank you, sir. So even though you can see from the confidence with which the teachers are speaking, they are not worried about what will happen to the village, because they think that the school, what they have done so far, will sustain there. They also think that because learning is not limited to the school, learning has become an integral part of the community. They think that it will continue, and the community values it. Now that is the story of Kalikhetpada for us. Now, we hope that this has been informative and inspiring. Kalikhetpada is an example of achieving equity and excellence for learning. It also is a representative of many such schools, teachers, and communities and children who are putting efforts despite the difficult situations. Let us look at the takeaways from this showcase. The first one is Kalikhetpada reinforces what we already know. Transformation begins with teachers. So everything actually begins with the teacher. It is a hard choice that the teachers of Kalikhetpada made in 2009, and he chose to stay. And all of them together have been working in a culturally, socially different environment and with geographical challenges there. But I think what we are learning from this is, as teachers, we have to be patient. It takes time, but when it does, there's no going back. The second takeaway is show rather rather than tell. I think all their activities are more about demonstration rather than telling, explaining, and that has created the parents to connect to education. The next takeaway is children's role in transformation. We really have to recognize that because the children who are living in such difficult situations, they understand the gravity of the situation much more than anybody else. And if they value education, they can support the adults in the village, the teachers, and the communities. One other very important thing that we can see from the way teachers speak about their communities, it is the core belief that the communities are assets, and it is important that way they have to work with communities, and they can't do this alone. And lastly, I think the question is, whose school is it? It is our school. It is the common vision and the goal that the teachers and communities set together. It is when every teacher in the school is connected to the community and every member in the community is connected to education. That is when learning is possible. And in spite of all the challenges, Calicut Pada has been able to demonstrate this for their children. And we wish them all the best. We also thank our audience here. We want to thank Mr. Vikas Pota. We want to thank T4 technical team for making this event possible. We want to thank our supporters, Edelgift Foundation and the collaborators program here, and the audience for being patient with us. We hope that this has been inspiring. Please do connect with us, and don't forget to use the hashtag World Edu Week. Thank you very much.